morning. We're here today with Mr. Ed Pozzouli, the head of Trip Scott in the state of Florida, and also a charter school advocate for many years.
Thank you for having me.
Ed, when you look at the landscape today, a little bit of what happened after session, what are some of your thoughts of the law that was passed and its impact on the charter movement?
Well, 7069, if you look at it, the three basic points that help charter school students are really first and foremost that the federal money that students get because of, say, their free and reduced lunch status will follow the student. I mean, anybody who's against that is really saying they want that money for the bureaucracy inside of school districts and not follow the child. Frankly, I don't understand that, Ralph. And that's one. Mm-hmm. Two is the issue of providing tax monies that the school boards collect and sharing those monies somewhat equally with charter schools and charter school students. And so here's why I don't understand the big harangue about it. Essentially, both charter schools and traditional public school students are public school students. Their parents, as well as others in the community, pay taxes to the school board. Why don't we try to have some of those monies follow the child, especially where what the DOE says is that charter schools outperform traditional public schools in a significant number of areas as measured by the Florida Department of Education. Doesn't the community want to have a stake in providing the greatest opportunity for students to be successful and to be educated correctly? And according to DOE, charter schools do help and do a better job at that. Well, we haven't seen the lawsuit yet because it hasn't been filed yet. So some of them are simply contemplating what legal action to take. So let's understand that. Really the biggest issue for me is what they really want to do is to protect the status quo. And the status quo is a bureaucracy of interest groups, special interest groups in and around the school districts that have developed over the years, whether it's the unions or whether it's the school board members or superintendents, whatever that is. That's what that's about. It's about power for them. For us, it's about ensuring that individual students benefit from the monies that both the federal government and the local governments provide. That's what the state legislature did. They want to provide as the greatest opportunity for parents to make decisions for the betterment of their children, and then provide schools, both charter schools and traditional public schools, monies and funding that is appropriate for the kids that they serve. And Ralph, what's wrong with that, Ralph?
What's going to happen during these potential legal challenges? Is there the possibility of charter schools not receiving any capital outlay dollars? Is the mere fact that they challenge the law enough to stop the distribution of funds? Or how does that work from a legal?
Well, the distribution of funds under the capital piece of it, the ad valorem monies that they now have to share, that happens in the springtime, early next year. Right, February 1st. And so, but today, we can anticipate that we're going to get that funding on February 1st. The only way that someone could stop it is by having a court intervene and stop or stay the process. We haven't seen the lawsuit, and so we don't know even if that's something they could even put together and legally, put in place. My guess is probably not. Because that's an extraordinary step they'd ask the court to do. And I'm not so certain that a court wants to intervene and supplant its judgment for the state legislature's judgments. After all, the state legislature is the representative body for the state of Florida. I would like to see, let me tell you what my aspiration is. My aspiration is that we partner with traditional public school districts and work together in making sure that we serve the students that are in their areas to the best of both our ability and theirs. After all, there is a certain level of improvement based upon the competition that's provided by a good traditional public school for the charter schools that are in that area, and a quality charter school that's in that area, and it rises the level that the school district has to pay attention to those schools around it. So all of those kids benefit. I want to see more of a partnership between the charter school groups and movement and traditional public schools. That would be my aspirational hope, because after all, we are trying to serve individual students and children, and we do all have a stake in their education.
And then I just want to thank you on behalf of all the charter school students, parents, nonprofit board members for all the work that you've done over countless years to fight for them. Thank you.
It's been my honor.